One. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Into the Red Rabbit Hole podcast with myself, Nighthawk, and my other brother from my Missouri mother, Mr. Eric Testerman. Say how you doing, everybody. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank everybody for being here, and we're going to get into the disclaimers and all that before we get started, because it seems like every time I put out a podcast, they always try to demonetize me. I get notification that my audio's been silenced, and nobody wants to hear nothing on a podcast for an hour and a half. So anyways, Nighthawk High Strangeness podcast channel and all the podcasts on the channel, including Into the Red Rabbit Hole, declare fair use of any and all content, including the music. You hear that, YouTube? Including the music, to be used for the purposes of informing you, the viewing family, of information for educational purposes, criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, parody, and let's not forget the entertainment value, because otherwise I wouldn't be having the money to pay for these expensive backgrounds. That really messes your eyesight up.
Look what the lack of money you're doing. The lack of money. This is their goal, baby.
Yep, lack of money. Under the Copyright Act of 1976, otherwise known herein as the Fair Use Act. All right, that being said, let's not forget this is for entertainment value only, folks. Entertainment value, okay? That's, you get what you pay for, and the podcast is free, so there you go. Anyways, let's start saying hello to everybody there, Eric.
Free-ish. It's free-ish.
Let's see. Oh, wow. The chat's already been rolling. Good Lord. Griff, good to see you. Uncaged Savage. There's that bizarre and unknown guy. That's bizarre. Little Twisted, good to see you. Let's see. Dead Wolf, good to see you. All right. Okay. Let's see. Who else? Roxanne. Roxanne, keep that tester guy in line, please. Virginia, Cryptid and Paranormal Research, good to see you. Oh, that's a mouthful. I ought to just say, hey, David. Scott's Life, good to see you. Let's see. Maria, good to see you. All right. Who else we got? Wow, we got a full house. Dawn, good to see you, man. Wow. This is great. We got everybody in here. Lori, good to see you. I hope Iowa is treating you good there, kiddo. Okay, let's see. All righty, let's see. I guess that's everybody. It's good to see everybody. We're actually getting into we're actually going to get into a couple different subjects. I know this thing behind you is probably really messing with everybody's eyesight. See, you're supposed to have a green screen, and I only have a portal behind me, so it's making it look like it's kind of cool. I wish that portal would be just like the whole screen. That'd be kind of cool. Anyways, we're just a couple of kids playing with our background effects, before the show started.
I was a floating hat for a little bit.
Yeah, you were the floating hat and then the floating head. He literally, his head was floating, everybody, without the body. Oh, God.
Y'all welcome to the show, the floating hat, floating head. We're here to talk some bizarre and unknown stuff. Man, we're just going to have a good time. Y'all going down here doing stuff like that. But no idea going down to do never know what we're going to talk about on these shows. I mean, I'll tell you what.
Oh, God. Gemini Moon, thank God you're here. Straighten him out, please.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's good, Lori. I'm glad that everything's going good and the people are warm there. You won't find very many places in America that have good, God-fearing, decent folk like you would in Iowa. You find them in Missouri, Wisconsin. I mean, you find them in every state. It's just some of the states just seem like they don't really care too much about people anymore. And that's sad. I was watching, and this doesn't have anything to do with the subject we're talking about tonight, because we're getting into the whole Cern thing and cloning, and then we're getting into the whole how I'm going to reveal something that I've been researching for the last week since my episode in the hospital. We won't talk about that, but yes, I almost died. Anyways, that being said, I'm back. And I'm back with a vengeance, YouTube and Facebook. So please, you might want to be kind. We are getting into an area that's probably not talked about very much anymore. I see a lot of the podcasters out there and a lot of the video vlogs out there that are doing a lot of the paranormal and supernatural aspect of cryptids and stuff like that. But have we ever, and this is just something I've been researching here in the past week, okay? And have we ever thought about making the connection that the fallen angels in the Bible were actually Egyptian deities like Anubis
We
and
made a
Ra?
connection.
Yeah,
We
I mean,
made a connection to the fallen angels and the Anunnaki. But we haven't went to the
exactly,
Egyptian side. But if you actually study Egyptian and you study ancient Sumerian, they're very similar. Just like the Old Testament of the Bible is the same as the ancient Sumerian. So hey, Larry.
exactly, exactly. I'm sorry, guys. I got to get rid of this screen behind me. So give me 1 second as I get rid of it. That's driving
Hey, I
me
was floating
bonkers.
head there for a minute for everybody to see, and nobody caught it. So ha ha. I had to do it once. The floating head.
There we go. That's a little bit normal. There we go. Nothing giving you motion sickness now except my hands.
Oh,
Anyways, Larry,
oh,
good to see you. Danny, good to see you, man. I was talking with
here.
Danny earlier. Danny, he's a heck of an artist when it comes to making jewelry, kind of like you
Oh,
there, Mr. Testerman. I used to be good
oh,
at it until I got old. So,
I just fiddle fart with it. God, your breath stinks, dude. That's why I don't want you up here. Yeah. Don't look at me like that. It does.
you
I
tell
don't
him,
what you've been
Snow.
eating.
You tell him. You tell him who's boss in that house, Snow. You tell him. Tell him who's boss. Tell him, Snow. Yeah.
He does. I don't know what he done, man, but God dang, his breath today's atrocious. It is. Oh, it is. I looked at him
Anyways,
earlier. Is that Will? Is that Winnie Winnie Pooh? And he just kind of looked at me like, dude. I was like, what?
oh,
That
God.
smells like poo.
I, yeah, I just, making that connection from the fallen angels to the Egyptians is kind of funny in a way. You know how we've had, well, you know how we have the lookalikes, okay, where we believe like some of the
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood elites are like immortals, and how we can find pictures of them in the past and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you think about it, there's several deities in the Egyptian uh, hieroglyphs and stuff that actually do resemble a lot of the elites in Hollywood, um, and in politics. Just one of them comes to mind with the last name of Obama. I'm sure we've all seen that picture of Obama, and then seen the Egyptian sculpture that looks exactly like him, you know. And that's where I came up with the idea of making that connection. Maybe, just maybe, we're looking at the Black Eye Club all together from a we need to be looking from a different angle. It's like that old saying of where, when you get a bunch of people sitting around in a circle and you place an object in the center of the circle, they're all going to view it differently because they're looking at it at different
Mm-hmm.
angles. It's kind of like that theory with this whole Egyptian thing. Um, that very well could be a solid theory, to tell you the truth, because there's so many similarities to the Anunnaki and the fallen angels and the Egyptians that, and here for the longest time, a lot of people thought, well, maybe the Egyptians were just like, a couple generations after the Anunnaki. I don't think they were. I think they were the fallen. I think they were the fallen. And I think that the Anunnaki were actually considered the fallen. I really do. Now,
We got
is it factual? That's just a little bit of research that I've done. It doesn't mean it's factual.
we got to consider a couple things here too. A lot of people put the Watchers in with the Fallen, and the Watchers was a completely different entity,
All right.
totally different group of angels. So you have
Yeah.
the Watchers and you have the Fallen that were down here. Uh, two
Yeah.
different sects. I mean, you can't. They They're even talked about in the Quran and the Torah. They're two separate things. They're not one
Right,
and the
right,
same.
right.
So, I mean,
And
could you have one that
and
was
Larry's
wondrous
right.
and one?
Yeah, Larry's right when he makes the comment about Hercules being a Nephilim, and that's the other thing too. That's the other connection you could make to all the demigods throughout all the cultures around the world. If you look at them, classify them as the Nephilim, it kind of correlates everything together. If you think about it,
Well,
because you've got Hercules, then in the Bible you've got Samson, okay, you've got Goliath,
mm,
okay, and you've got um, Apollo. You've got all these gods out there that can be considered, you know, as in Nephilim. So even when we went over the list of giants, like Ohio in the Bible, with the state being named Ohio, it's not far off from the word Ohio. You know, so I
mm-hmm.
mean, there's a lot of little bits of information that it's kind of like it's hidden from us, but yet it's just under the surface where if we dig deep enough, we might be able to figure out what's going on. Hey, Ozzy
Ozzy
Sue, good to
Sue's in the
see you.
house.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a while. I hope you're
Yeah.
doing good, Ozzy.
I mean, I don't know, because if you study the Torah, it talks about there's the God and then there's the gods. So there's one God above all gods. So I would more put like Hercules, and all the what we call demigods as the lesser gods, not really the Nephilim, and that's just based because they were known that their father was a god. Hercules' fathers was Zeus. Several of them. Zeus fathered a lot. Zeus was getting busy back in the day. Zeus
Yeah,
fathered a
Zeus was
lot
a
of the
hoe.
demigods.
He was a hoe.
Yeah, he put the ho 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 ho. I mean, he chicka wow. That was Zeus.
You
Yeah,
know,
he was
and
getting
he's
busy.
he's the one that actually changed himself into a goose to have
Mm-hmm.
relations with a female.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, I mean,
how
he's
does that even
also
happen? How is that even
he
possible?
I mean,
Think
he's
about it.
disguised himself as someone else's husband just to have relations with him. I mean,
Well,
there you
that's
go. There's
that's
your shapeshifter.
understandable. That's understandable,
Yeah.
though. At least you have the same how do we say sexual parts? But how
Mhm.
does a goose have relations with a woman? I mean, that's
It could be
disgusting,
mind
actually.
trick, and in her mind, she was seeing a goose, but Zeus wasn't. I mean, that's a possibility too. I mean, yeah. But I mean, I would put more of them along the lines of the demigods as one of the lesser gods as talked about throughout the Quran and Torah and stuff like that than I would the Nephilim, because the Nephilim is pretty well described on what they are. Um, they are tall, most of them red haired, but that's a common mistake that people make too. They think the Nephilim was the only race of giants. No, there wasn't. There was giants before the Nephilim, and there was giants after the Nephilim. The Nephilim was a type of giant that
Hmm.
was angelic based. That was pretty much the
Well,
difference between the Nephilim and the giants.
we have talked in the past about Cern being a big problem with everything that's happening nowadays, especially
Mm-hmm.
with people losing their memories. Um, the old, I guess you could call it the old Jedi mind trick, where they influence the minds through technology, whatever technology they're doing at the time. Um, they've talked for years and years about how CERN's opening up portals to hell and portals to other
Mm-hmm.
dimensions and all that. And we've even seen video proof and photographic proof of things happening above Cern, and things
Mm-hmm.
happening in the sky, which I actually put on the notice to go out for this podcast earlier today, showing what we would call death dealers or whatever, from like the Harry Potter movie, being in the sky. But
Yeah, what
it's
was those
hard
things
to,
called?
yeah,
Dementors.
dementors,
Dementors.
yeah, yeah, and it's hard to discern nowadays what is fact and what is the wool being pulled over our eyes because of all the disinformation attempts that the governments have done around the world to brainwash and re-educate the people, you know so I don't know what anybody else thinks, but I don't
Yeah.
think we're living in a world where, and this comes from all the years of doing research and stuff, I don't think we're living in a world of a reality what we think we are. I think it's like the post that I put out on Facebook earlier today. I don't know if anybody had actually had a chance to look at it, but if you think about it, the best way to describe it would be like a combination of the Matrix and the movie They Live, and smash them
Mm-hmm.
together, and that's the kind of basically world we're living in, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not far from it. A couple things here. Uncut. I made that. Hey, Jessica, how's it going? I kind of made that distinction too when I did a Bigfoot show. So, I mean, I
Hmm.
can kind of see where you're coming from on that uncut. Um, and Roxanne, as far as the Titans go, I mean, that to me, the Titans were a type of giant. I mean, it's talking, the reason why the flood happened was because the giants became unruly, it was destroying everything and eating people, and therefore God was mad and caused the flood to kill them. That very
Well,
well
and it
could be
talks,
the types of giants.
yeah, yeah, it talks about Kronos eating, Zeus. I mean, it
No, he didn't eat
is.
Zeus. He ate Zeus's brothers.
Oh, he ate
Zeus
the
killed him.
brothers and sisters of Zeus. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
right. And Zeus freed them. But if you think
Mm-hmm.
about it, it's not far off from the Nephilim story as far as them eating humans.
Yeah.
And that brought the flood around. But my other thing with the whole Egyptian thing and the fallen is you look around the world, okay, and you correlate all the Egyptian artifacts and stuff that we're finding all spread across continents that aren't even
Mm-hmm.
connected to Egypt, okay, that haven't been connected to Egypt and Africa since it was, Pangea, one continent,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Hello,
and
Cameron.
they're finding more and more every day. I mean, they've got findings up in New
Mm-hmm.
England. They've got findings in Great Britain. They've got findings in Ireland. They've got findings in the Southwest, in the Grand Canyon. They've got findings up
Mm-hmm.
in the Midwest area where you're at, just up above you in Michigan and Minnesota. They're finding Egyptian
Yeah.
artifacts. Um,
Yeah.
so, it's not far
The
fetched to think that at one time, maybe, just maybe, the Egyptians as the fallen spread across the earth, and basically
yeah.
it just got intermixed, just like, all the different names for Bigfoot, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Hey, well, I mean, there's that new theory going about that the United States is actually the true
hey,
Egypt.
yeah,
So I
exactly.
mean, and I can't dispute the evidence. The evidence is pretty compelling. Am I on that the United States is the original Egypt board yet? No, I'm not on there yet. But I can't deny the evidence that's come out, and I could say it's very plausible. It is very
Exactly.
plausible that we could be. Now, I mean, it's
Yep.
I'm going to need a lot more evidence than what they put out for me to
Hey,
jump on
Stuart.
that bandwagon and say, yeah, we were. I'm just
Hmm.
not there yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it, though, I mean, they're finding there's a picture out there I've got showing the Sphinx right here in the States in two different locations. One's in the northern area of the Midwest, and the other one's in the
Mm-hmm.
Southwest. So, I mean, in order to be even that far apart, you have to wonder, And then you've got the pyramids, and then you've got like the Mayan and Aztec pyramids that they made for their deities and all that, and for their reigns while they were, reigning as far as civilizations go, you know, and they're finding pyramids all over the world now. Everything just seems to go back to Egypt. So
Well,
maybe,
actually, the pyramids all over the world tie back to Anunnaki because if you study the ancient Sumerian, Enlil, who traveled the world, was teaching civilizations how to build structures. He was teaching them
right,
how to build pyramids. So, I mean,
right,
that really, the pyramids around on all over the world is actually tied to the
yeah.
Anunnaki
I
when it
was go-
comes
I
to
was going to
ancient
get to
Sumerian
that.
texts.
I
Yeah.
was going to get to that. Camo Dad, good to see you. Um, it's just, to me, it's kind of ironic how it all just kind of pans out, and it really doesn't make any logical sense to why so many Egyptian pyramids and artifacts are being found all around the world. You got the Bosnian pyramids, you got pyramids in China, you got pyramids in Russia, you got pyramids in America, in Alaska, in Canada.
Mhm.
You've got pyramids in the South America. It
Antarctica.
makes more sense if we can correlate maybe the Egyptians were actually depictions of the Anunnaki. They say that the
Some of them I would
Anunnaki
agree.
were reptilian. Okay. They say the
Mm.
Anunnaki were reptilian. Okay. Now,
Mm.
we know for a fact, just because of our genius, our species of human, that we were not designed to live on this planet. Because, first off, every other creature that lives on this planet has the resistance to ultraviolet radiation. Okay. They don't get sunburned.
Mm.
Humans are the only species that get sunburn on the whole planet.
Yep.
Think about that. So we didn't originate here. We were actually
Mm.
either engineered here with alien DNA mixed with some local, inhabitants, or we were brought from another destination and brought here. And the theory behind being brought here from another planet is one to where the Anunnaki, when they brought us here, wanted us to eliminate the other threatening species on the planet, which were the Neanderthal, the ape men,
Denisovans.
yeah, the Denisova, the reptilians that lived here, all that. So it just makes sense to me that maybe all these Egyptian sites around the world, the entire world that we're finding, include, and I think there were some that were even found in around the Sea of Japan too, if I remember correctly. Um, it just
I believe
makes
so.
sense to me that they're all considered, all the Egyptian stuff around the world is connected, and that the Egyptian deities that were seen were considered to be either a combination of animal and genetics from Anunnaki, or they were the Anunnaki, which were considered the fallen angels. So I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of a mind melting type of a way to think. But if you think about it, there's got to be a connection to all these Egyptian artifacts around the world. Why else would they be
It
scattered
could
around the world?
It could be. When you study ancient Sumerian, your most common depiction of an Anunnaki is actually this here. Now, this is I created this with the word Anunnaki for some artwork. That's your most common depiction of what an Anunnaki looks like. That one, and
Now look at the beard. Look at the beard on that one, okay? And then check out the
yeah,
beards on the Egyptian hieroglyphs and on the Egyptian deities, the statues that are made. They have almost the same
yeah,
exact type of squareness on the beard.
they they do. This depiction is also the other one that is very common with the depiction of the Anunnaki. Now, like I said, this is all artwork that I created. I created this with the term Anunnaki in the system. Because I was doing it for an art design. But yeah, that's what you was talking about, the beard. Yeah. If you, I mean, most of your ancient sculptures, your beards are put in this manner. Now I know,
And if
I mean,
you look at that picture that you have there, that's
mm-hmm.
not far off from what people believe to be angels either, if you think about it. So they might be considered the fallen angel.
They could be, or they could have been the Watchers.
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, or it could have been. I mean, either theory is a really good theory, honestly. But this is stuff I created as artwork for some stuff that I was doing. I mean, up here you got the personal, the single aircrafts that they were talked about flying around. They flew around. I mean, that is most of your common depiction. That's what an Anunnaki looks like. And that's why I find it interesting that you're bringing that stuff up, because it does fit with a lot of other ancient cultures as well, like you were saying. So, I mean, it's the possibility is definitely there. And you actually think more about it, it does really look a lot of Egyptian wise too, which would make sense because that's all in that ancient Sumerian area.
Exactly.
I mean, it all is in there.
Exactly.
Yep.
I just, I just started, after dealing with what I dealt with my own health, the last, 10 days ago or something like that. It just started bugging me, because the more I thought about, the whole angelic thing and the whole demonic thing and the whole soul recycling, how they say that the moon is set up to be a soul recycler and it's artificial. And we got into this subject, backstage before the podcast, you and I did, Eric, about the moon being brought here, and how in a lot of ancient texts and stuff, the moon isn't even mentioned because it wasn't there. So, the one Greek philosopher wrote that he observed the moon being towed here. Yeah, towed here by a being, And ironically, you made the connection to the Norse legend to it.
Yeah. Yeah, with Mani, the Jotnar giant Mani, she pulls the moon around with her chariot.
Yeah. So I mean, there's so many. There's so many connections and so many dots that we can connect with this whole thing, And like you said before, we already made the connection to the red-haired giants, to the vampires, to the immortal type of beings, the royal families, and the reptilians. We made that connection already. Now we're making the connection that the Anunnaki were originally described, at least Enki and Enlil were described as being almost reptilian looking in nature. So you have to wonder,
that's a newer theory that came out. I need a little bit more evidence to go off of that, because I'm not finding that in any ancient scripture.
Well, the reason I bring that up, the reason I bring that up, though, is if you take a look at the one Egyptian deity that looks like he's got an alligator head,
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh,
I mean,
that's gonna
you
bug
know,
me.
it
I
is
gotta look
what it
that up.
is. I'm just putting the information out there.
Well,
This is for educational purposes only, folks.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You make the decisions, you make your own mind up on what's here, because this is just an open discussion. This is just theories, and it's for purely entertainment value. Okay. So,
Exactly. That's
you
bugging
make
me.
up
So I
your
got
own minds.
Sobek.
So, but
Thank you. Finally, I got it out of there. Sobek. It was
yeah.
bugging me because I couldn't remember the Egyptian god. Sobek.
Mhm.
Okay.
But
Woo!
why would they
That was
have
gonna
that? And
bug
then
me.
you look at the Naga. How about the Nagas? You
Not yet.
know,
Yeah.
they're a reptilian species too. So I
There's a
mean,
good one right there. Making the garden.
it's not that far fetched that Inky and Elil could have been part
Yeah.
reptilian and part human. They really could, which would make the actual
Anunnaki.
it would make them look like a Draco. You know, the one
um,
picture we have of the Dracos. You know, that came from
The
space.
Anunnaki. The
Yeah,
Anunnaki came from the planet Nibiru.
right.
Twisted. The Anunnaki came from the planet Nibiru that circles the Earth every 26 or 3600 years. I think it's 2600 years. It circles passes by the Earth, which we're getting close to
Yeah,
that 2600 year mark for it to cross by the Earth again.
yeah. In fact,
Sometimes it's close to the Earth.
there's some rumors already that it's already here, and that's why we're seeing the double
Could be.
moons at night and all that too every now and then. So I mean, it very
Yeah, I
well
mean,
could be. So
it could be, Now, I mean, on the subject of this reptilians, I mean, it's interesting because there's several theories about reptilians out there. One theory is reptilians look just like us, so you
mhm.
got that theory. Then you got the theory that there's a difference between the actual reptilians and the Thoracos. Thoracos come from space, where reptilians were here on the planet from the get and go, and they come from within the cave. They live within the inner Earth, and they come to the surface from time to time.
Right. And the
So
Dracos are the ones that are in charge of a lot of the shadow governments around the world. They're in charge of the Federal Reserve. They're in charge of BlackRock and a few other deep state organizations.
mhm.
So, you know, it's not far fetched to connect the dots on all this. It really isn't. Let me see what some of the
I'm
people are
trying to
saying.
figure. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what Twisted was talking about here. I don't know what Zachariah Stitchin has to do with the Anunnaki. Maybe he wrote something about them or not. I'm just going off an ancient text.
He
That's
did
all I
write a
know.
book. Stitchin
Did he?
Stitchin was the first person to try and decode the Sumerian tablets, and he
Oh,
wrote a
that dude
book
was
on
okay.
he wrote a book
Yeah,
on the Anunnaki and the Sumerian tablets, and
yeah, that dude was.
he
Yeah.
wrote in it that the word, what was it? The word Anunnaki meant from heaven to earth they came, or something like that, and
Mm, something like
he
that.
misquoted it. So,
Yeah.
or at least, that's always going to be in dispute, Twisted. So I don't even,
Yeah.
I don't understand all the confusion over it anyways. I really don't.
Honest,
The
I
connection is still there.
I have no clue. Twisted. I've never studied anything about stitching, so I have no clue what we're talking about here. I remember as soon as William told me, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. I have no
Yeah.
idea. I've never read his crap.
And
I don't.
Twisted, what does Herbie Hancock got to do with it? He's a musician. I'm teasing. I'm
I just
teasing. I know it's not Herbie Hancock, okay?
yeah. I honestly, I don't
Somebody's
read. I don't
watching
read
me.
books to learn stuff. I read the ancient scripts. Yeah, I honestly,
Oh,
I'm not. Believe it or not, I'm an author, but I can't read very good. No, I'm not quoting. I'm sorry you think that, Twisted. I'm not quoting him. I'm sorry, I'm not. I don't. I didn't even know he had a book. I honestly didn't. I don't know what you mean. I can't read very good. I can't write very good. That's why I have so these programs that helps me to write. I honestly have no clue what you're getting. I'm sorry. I really don't.
okay, Stuart.
Uh,
Whose sticker? Ask
yeah,
Stuart
let's
whose
get
sticker is.
here. Whose sticker wrote the 12 planet about whose sticker? I want to know who sticker is now. I learned who Stigent is, so I know who Stingent is. There we go. Stitching. Oh, stitching. Okay, that's how I know. Okay.
I thought you brought
Yeah.
up somebody else there, Stuart, there for a while. I think Stuart was
I was
messing
too.
with
I was
us.
like, is there someone else I don't know about now? Oh crap! How many people's writing about this? I was
Oh
like,
God.
wow.
Oh man.
So, yeah, I'm Bigfoot on the train, baby. You ain't going right. I honestly did. I didn't know Stitchin wrote a book. I didn't know that. I remember him being talked about by somebody. Uh,
Right.
I think it was Billy Carson or somebody mentioned his name one. I don't know who the dude
Yeah.
is. I
Billy
remember he's
Carson's
well, Ron. I remember.
yeah, Billy Carson's really,
Yeah,
really well known in the whole Sumerian and emerald tablets
yeah,
and all kinds of stuff like that.
yeah. I've watched this show a couple times. I just haven't really been able to get real big on him. He's all
Well,
right, I guess.
the one thing about Billy is he's like Twisted. I mean, they've got such a long time studying
Mm.
the Anunnaki and the Sumerian tablets and stuff, and even the emerald tablets and the what is it, the copper scrolls and stuff like that. You know,
What's
Twisted
Facebook got
studied
to do
that
with
for
it now?
30 years, and Billy Carson's has
Mm.
studied that for a very, very long time, if probably the same amount of time. So, if
I,
anybody
I
could
on
teach
Facebook very much.
a little bit
I'm
about,
not on.
the Anunnaki, then it would be me, as far as my opinion, it would be Twisted and Billy Carson. But, even at
Yeah,
that, it's still kind of it's not really a surprise to me that
oh, yeah.
we could correlate the Egyptians to what the Anunnaki could possibly be too,
Mm.
because there's so many similarities. Um, and the way I learned about the Anunnaki, the first race of beings that they made um, were mixed with animal and human DNA.
Mm.
And
Taking clay from the earth.
maybe that's the connection to the Egyptian deities also, because they would be considered demigods too, because of the mixing of the two species, with the Anunnaki DNA. They would almost be demigods, which would make them godly to the common Egyptian people. You know what I mean? So, it's kind of just and it's a far-fetched thing, I know, but there's just too many correlations and too many ways we can connect the dots to everything being connected. And the sooner we figure that aspect out of our past, we can start realizing what's going on with our future. Because it's like, I don't know if Savage and Twisted and Griff and everybody know, and Stuart remember, if you remember back in the 70s, the late 70s, I know they were kind of a plot blur to me too, but anyways, anyways, you know, we remember hearing about IBM making an artificial intelligence computer system called Watson. Okay. Now, when I talk prior, you know, on previous podcasts about the ancient AI theory and how it's running an automatic right now, I almost think that after the initial um, basically introduction from IBM about Watson, you know,
Mm-hmm.
after that first year, you don't hear anything more about it. Okay. Other than the fact that it beat several chess, internationally known chess champions at playing chess, you know, and then you hear nothing about it, nothing at all. And then all of a sudden, the movie War Games comes out, and all of a sudden, we're thinking, well, damn, you know, is that Watson? Is that the AI Watson? Was it something that our military took over and utilized, you know, with a lot of their black budget operations, you know, their special access programs,
Mm-hmm.
you know, very well could be, you know, and you take that AI technology and you combine it with the ancient world stuff and, you know, the technology they had back then. There's things about you know, there's rumors about no proof though, but apparently, but Mars being, you know, made a red dusty planet because of nuclear wars that occurred there. Well, you take a look at the areas where there's deserts and stuff, and it's the same area where the Sumerian tablets were found, where the Anunnaki were, where the Egyptians were, okay? And India is right there. And they all talk about the war in the heavens above
Mm-hmm.
that area, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And now you got sand. You reach down into that sand in the desert in Egypt, you're going to pull up a handful of glass. Now, it takes what? 5,000 degrees to melt and sand into glass, which would be equivalent to what? An atomic bomb.
Yeah.
And the deserts
There's a
around
lot
there
of
are
evidence.
filled with
Yeah.
glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's just too many ways you can connect the dots here. I don't see any other. It's all connected, but I mean, trying to figure out how is the hardest thing, and that's why I'm kind of hoping that, you know, Twisted and everybody else that has, you know, knowledge in this area can basically, you know, enlighten everybody in the chat. Heck, I'll even put the link in the chat if anybody, you know, that knows more about the Anunnaki than I do and you do. If they want to come on for a few minutes and talk about it, go right ahead. I put the link
Go
in the
ahead. But I can
chat.
tell you, I don't learn it. I don't learn it from Facebook, and I don't learn it from books. So I mean, I don't know where that crap came from.
Who
So
said that?
I don't. Twisted. So I need to get off
Oh,
Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. I don't know.
no. I post on
I just
Facebook, but I don't, you know.
yeah, I post on there. Don, could it be true
Oh,
that the
sorry,
black
everybody. I had a yawn.
was detected before the first man made satellite in space? That's possible, Don. Okay. Yeah, you brought something good about the black satellite. That's an interesting subject. Don just talking about here about the black satellite. I mean, Lord knows how
Well,
long that's been out there.
yeah, and you know, it could be ancient AI, you know. If you think about it, it really could. It could be ancient technology from the Anunnaki and, you know, the ones that got left behind that didn't go back on Nibiru with you know, Enki and all them, and because the ones that were left behind, they also called. I think they also called them the Watchers. Also, didn't they? Twisted, wasn't it something like that? Didn't they call them something different? The ones that were left behind, the Anunnaki. I can't remember what the name was.
That sounds familiar. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I just can't remember what the exact
Well,
name was, and I don't
were
want to
they
get it
the
wrong.
Anunnaki, or were they the Anunnaki that got in trouble for doing stuff with humans that they weren't supposed to? And then that was the is what they correlated with
No,
what we call in the Bible the Watchers.
I
I
thought
can't remember.
it
I remember
was
hearing
the
something.
yeah, I thought it was the lesser Anunnaki that were left behind.
It
Kind
could
of
be.
like a demigod type of an Anunnaki. I can't remember exactly
Yeah.
what they were called though. I don't know if Twisted can
Now I'm
tell
trying
me
to
about
remember
that.
off the top of my head
Yeah, I can't
myself.
remember the name of them, and that's starting to piss me off. That's the effects of radiation and all that other shit that they've got me going through. So
Mine's effective being trying to create a freaking show all freaking day, and the damn Microsoft Clip Champ keeps jacking with me. 6 hours later, I get pissed to go watch Iron Man.
I
Trying to
know,
get
man.
something stitched together, and the damn thing fights me.
They don't make anything easy anymore. They really don't. They really don't. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting myself some sage because I'm starting to get a little feeling about the.
They called him something. I can't remember
Yeah,
either.
I can't
Twisted. I
remember what
remember
the
they
heck they
called him by
called them.
something. I
Yeah,
know
I
they
can't.
weren't supposed to marry or breed with mankind, and one of them did, and I forgot which one it was that did, and it really pissed them off. And their offspring was, they said,
It
is what
pissed
brought
it
war
pissed
and rebellion
Enki off.
against them.
Enki
Yeah.
was the one. I believe Enki was the one that they considered like the serpent in the Garden of Eden. I think he's the one that
Mm-hmm.
brought the technology to people and taught people,
Mm-hmm.
what
Yeah.
herbs to use and all that, and that kind of stuff. And they almost make it sound biblically like Enki Satan, you know.
Yeah.
And in other aspects of the Anunnaki that I've been researching, and not even near as long as Twisted had. So they're probably Twisted. I'll get it out. Twisted is probably knowing a lot more than what I could ever think. But yeah, I
Yeah.
can't remember the name of them.
They did, but one of them married a human, and their offspring
Look at
gave
how that sage is
strength
burning.
and
Good
knowledge
God.
to humans to rebel against them. And that's when I was trying to remember which one it was. Because before the previous ones were weak, and they were good slaves, and they did what they were supposed to do. And then one of them
Because they
married a
were,
human
yeah,
woman.
yeah, they were the ones that the first ones that they made. Um,
They took the
no,
clay
they
of the
didn't make
earth and the DNA of them.
the first ones of the Anunnaki that were made weren't made to work in the mines. The Anunnaki brought the Ana, was it Ana?
I
The
think it was
Ana
Anna,
with
yeah.
them, or Anai and Anai, um, with them to mine the gold, which were kind of
Yeah.
demi Anunnakis. Okay, they
They
were
they were a
lesser
race that the
Anunnaki.
Anunnaki had
Yeah,
defeated and enslaved them. And
right,
then they were supposedly stationed on Mars or something and doing some other stuff
right.
here. And then they rebuilt and fought again. And that's when they decided to take the clay of the earth and the DNA of the Anunnaki to create the humans. Of course, some of them, the ones that were the slaves originally, wanted some women for themselves as well. And it, oh, uproar. That's what I hear. I don't know
Right.
a whole lot on that part.
Right.
Yeah, I love the Book of Enoch.
Yeah, the Book of Enoch's awesome.
Yeah, I love that book. I've got the hard copy sitting right up there, and I've got it on audiobook too. Audiobook's easier for me to listen to. Of course, it's funny enough, very little of my audiobooks is research books. It's all like
Right.
Peter Gibbons, D.A. Roberts, mine. Yeah, get to listen to historical fictions about Vikings or other stuff. That's pretty much. I do have Sun Tzu's Art of War. I do have the Book of Enoch. I do
Oh, you
have
know
Baron
what?
Trump's Adventures.
I was going to let me see if I can find it here on my phone. Um okay, I don't see it. Alrighty, let's see here. Let's go further down.
I do like Gilgamesh though, and which I find interesting. Gilgamesh's friend, who were their combatants at first, you actually listen to how he was made and what he was looked like. That is damn near one of the very first Bigfoot descriptions you're going to hear about. That's why I always found that one interesting.
Hmm. Oh man. Okay, come on. Don't tell me it's not going to let me find it.
Hmm.
All right, let me do this. Let me do this. I'm going to show you what I was talking about a lot of the Egyptian stuff being seen. Okay, pictures. I'll find it eventually, damn it.
I'm trying to remember who the head Anunnaki god was. But if you actually listen to that description, that would be Yahweh as we know it, or Ra as the Egyptians know it. I can't remember his name. Hey, Woo.
Let's see here. It is. Where in the heck is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to find the picture of what I think Enki's brother, the Anunnaki's brothers, um, looked like. And this is why I make the comparison to the Dracos. And you'll see from the picture. I just got to find it. Oh, where is it? Come on, dang it. I'm not seeing it. Darn it.
I'm trying to remember if it's one of them I've seen before or not.
I think you have. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can look in my pictures here on the computer and see if I can find it. All right, let's see.
Hey, take it easy, Dan. Danny, thank you for coming in.
Oh, it's going to make me try to upgrade me in order to do that. Do you believe that? Take it easy, Danny.
Do the oh, you don't have two screens, do you?
No, I don't.
Send it to me on
Nope.
Messenger. Send it to my authors one. I think that's the one I got up now.
I got to see if it'll let me even pull it up. I'm not even sure it'll let me pull it up. Let me get rid of some of these pictures here and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm waiting on my deal to load up. Yeah, if you find it, send it to my author's one. I got 2 screens, so I can do the screen share. Thank you, Woo. Yazoo. Yeah. The descriptions of him sound very much like Yahweh and sound very much like Ra. I always found that interesting. Because I always like tying all the ancient stuff together. Because I've always said, if you study all religions, the core value of them all are the same. So I always thought that was fascinating how they all were that way.
All right, let me see if I can find it here.
Mm-hmm. God, I ain't been on Facebook in a little while, and you can tell because I got a bunch of crap on here I haven't looked at.
It'll take me just a second to get through these to actually see the picture here.
God, I hate to see my personal account. I haven't been on that thing in about 2-3 weeks.
Oh, come on. Stupid freaking things.
Take it easy, Woo. Or are you saying hi? You might be saying hi. I could be wrong. What are you into? You better be staying out of stuff, troublemaker. I already got issues. The one with the terrible twos right now that seems to be lasting longer than it should. Mister, I want my butt up against the space heater and fart so it goes up my nostrils.
He doesn't do that.
Board did that to me earlier. I'm sitting here and I've got my headphones on and I'm clipping out the EVPs we didn't hear with our ear, and all of a sudden I'm like, God bless it. Look down his butt. Literally, his tail's on the other side of the space heater. It's at my feet, and his butt is up against the space heater, and he farted. Then I have that thing under my desk blowing on my feet to keep my feet warm. Oh my God, it was bad. Okay. That's okay. I was thinking so. Woo, thank you for letting me know, buddy. I had to catch myself there for a second.
I'm not finding that picture anywhere, and I know darn well I have it.
We can save it for another show if we got to. For now, just send it to me on my author's Facebook page, and I can always do the screen share when we're doing shows. Or I can download it on my computer. I'll have to download it to my computer.
It's like it's putting all of my pictures in a video format. I don't know why it's doing that. I really don't know why. I had to
break out my space heater too because my gout was flared up because my feet are getting cold. Damn old age. So I got a little space heater at my feet down here underneath my desk, and I've been at my desk trying to get my gout under control. Yeah, no, it does not smell like roses, Roxanne. No. That was horrible. Although I think I captured that little, if I can get this to upload so I can release it, I believe that little figure in the window I was showing you guys, I think I got it slowed down and cut good enough where you'll see it. It does this in the picture frame, comes back out and then goes like that. I think I caught it good enough. I'm trying to play with colors to bring it out a little bit better.
I can't find that picture at all yet.
We can show it on another show. Just like I said, just send it to my author's messenger and I'll upload it on my computer and we can share it that way.
It's starting to tick me off though.
I know that is. I'll forget, then I'll remember, oh crap, I've got it on my external, which I need to transfer some more stuff to my external.
I gotta be getting close.
I'm looking at RAMs, getting some RAMs, and man, it's going to cost me $81 to buy 3 more sticks of RAM. I'm like, good God, this stuff is getting expensive. For lesser gigabytes, I could have got 4 of them, but they were $150. Like, why do I want less when I can get more? I just need to remember how to build a computer and build my own.
Well, my youngest son, built his gaming computer by himself, and he basically learned everything right off of YouTube. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, I can't find it. It's not in any of my computer files now. It's like it's gone. I'll see if I can find it for another show.
Heck yeah.
Anyways,
I don't
know.
So in cage. No, there's no way that means good luck. It's more like, this is what I think of you, you bastard, for not letting me chew on the kitties. Yeah, gremlins.
Yeah, gremlins.
You need to get a gremlin bell for your computer.
No, I got
Hell,
more than gremlins. I got a lot more than gremlins going on. Trust me.
I need to do something, man, because this. I've kicked it around. I don't have the extra money to spend, but I got to do something for mine. This is getting to be a pain in the ass trying to create these videos, get everything stitched together so I can get them released. Like, I was ready to have part 2 released tomorrow night at midnight, and I've worked on this damn thing for 6 hours straight today. Almost done with it. And what does it do? Every time I log in, it kicks me off now. So now I've downloaded this other program I absolutely do not know how to use, and I got to figure out how to stitch everything together, cut everything out, I don't know. Well, yeah, I'm probably going to have to do about my 50th restart today to see if that doesn't kick it out of its little, screw you, I'm retired stage. Yeah, pigeon bombs. Yeah.
Hey, now tomorrow morning's show might be a little bit of a delay because we've got something to take care of first thing in the morning, and it's vital that I go to it. So I don't know if I'll be back in time for starting at 11 o'clock, but we'll shoot for like 11:30 maybe tomorrow morning just to make sure. Now, to let everybody know what's been going on with me, the esophageal cancer is back. And of course, I've still got the mass in my left lung that has grown. So that is the reason I'm going through a lot of these procedures now. And they rescheduled the one that I was supposed to have on the 20th of this month because they couldn't put me under anesthesia because they couldn't get my blood pressure my blood pressure reading to rise, the numbers to rise to normal levels. For some reason, my blood pressure's very, very low. It's in the low 80s, top number, and 50s and 60s for the bottom number. And, that's not good for somebody my size. So it is what it is, and but they rescheduled my procedure for December 2nd at 5:30 in the morning. So, and I've got a pre-op stuff on the 29th at the hospital. So those are the dates that I'm looking at to where my medical stuff is going to start happening. So if y'all can keep me in your prayers, that'd be great. As far as the shows go from now on, as you can see, StreamYard is just getting ridiculously insane. They won't let me share pictures or anything. So I have got to figure out a different place to go. And I've been checking out a few other, apps and stuff. One of them's Restream, and another one is oh God, can't remember the name of it. But anyways, if those don't work out, I'm actually gonna go and just do Rumble and go from Rumble to YouTube and do it that way. Um, yeah, I hope I'll be
Yeah.
good with the doctor's care uncaged. Um, I'm definitely I'm at a point right now where if they can't correct the esophageal part of the cancer, there's not a whole lot more that they can do. They can't replace what because there's nothing to replace it with anymore. Um, because they already used my stomach for that for the first one. So, and I'm not about to have a pig's esophagus put in me. So I'm not a pig. So that's just my way of thinking. I'm not worried about it because I know where I'm going. Um, what I worry about is what's going to happen to everybody after I leave. That's what I'm worried about. So in that aspect, I'm that's the only regret that I have. So I mean I know my teachings and stuff will go on. I've got brothers like you, Eric, and I got Ryan, Paul Tremblay. I've got you know Robbie, Rains. I've got Jessica. She's phenomenal. We've got Corey that's starting up his own channel soon. So,
Heck yeah.
there's going to be people out there that are able to carry on what I've been trying to do and enlighten people. So, but anyways, to make a long story short, I just wanted to let everybody know that probably we're either going to be late tomorrow coming on tomorrow morning, or if I'm not on by noon, I'm not coming on at all. Okay. That's just the thing. I might put up a recorded part, it depends. It just depends. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to go Rumble.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. I just want to tell Savage I've tried ulterior stuff. There's a lot out there. I mean, even lemon water is said, with real lemons, not lemon juice, is said to combat, the growth of cancer. But there's other things too that I've taken and I'm currently taking. But a lot of that stuff, even the holistic stuff, is very expensive, and you can't afford stuff like that being on a disability income like mine. Okay, so I do what
Wish
I
we had a way to
can.
get permission.
Yeah. It's just what it is, and I've learned to deal with it. So I believe in being
Yeah.
honest with everybody, and I believe in the Rumble channel is going to be a good thing, but even Rumbles, every time I go on Rumble, they're asking me to upgrade the channel by paying something for the service, and
I'm
I'm
I've
not
never
doing that.
upgraded on it.
Yeah.
I've never upgraded on it. I don't know why it's
Yes.
having you do. That's so weird. I can't figure out what you're doing different than what I do. Which I was going to go live on Rumble today because I wanted to hit these topics up with what's been going on, especially with the little pew 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 thing that happened the other day. That certain individuals are tied to, well, handlers of a certain individual is tied to. But man, I was stuck on this fighting this damn thing all day. I didn't get a chance to go live. I need to
Right.
at some point in time. I'll try tomorrow to get on there and go live on Rumble, and because there's a few things we need to address, and it's a lot of stuff I've been saying has been coming to the light, and then
Twitter
I'm
is
looking
not
this stuff.
free. Yeah, Twitter or X is
No,
not free anymore. You have to pay for
not
it
no more.
to be a video podcast on there. And
That's why
it's
I've not
not
been.
cheap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and that's why I haven't been able to post my long videos on X anymore, is because they want you to pay for it. I do
Yeah.
mine mainly on Rumble, Patreon, YouTube, and Instagram now.
All right.
Uh, but if I can get a chance, I'll try to go live tomorrow afternoon sometime. Kind of hit this up because things I'm hearing that the common person won't hear about what's going on ties very well to what I was saying a year ago, and we're seeing it come to light again. So I figure it'd be good to kind of touch bases on that,
Well, let
which
me
a
know
lot of
what
what
time. I'll
happened.
go on with you.
All right. Yeah, I sent you a message earlier, then I got caught up doing this and forgot.
Yeah.
BitChute. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, BitChute.
What's
That does
BitChute?
sound familiar.
But I tell you though, I've been making money off Rumble, and I haven't even been on as active on it as I used to be. And
I
now I've
made
already made
48
damn near
cents.
$30. I've made almost $30 now on Rumble, and all I've been doing is posting my videos on there.
Ah, okay.
So
Well, looks
Rumble's the
like
one we
I'm
got to
going to
figure out how
Rumble.
to get you. Yeah, we got to figure out how to get you on Rumble good. I'm monetized now, so I can get super stickers now. They okayed that the other day.
Huh.
So now I can get super stickers, super chats, and what is that other super whatever it is now that people's been wanting me to have on mine. I can get it now.
Cool.
So, but yeah, I need to do more lives on Rumble. I just haven't done it here lately. I'm so busy between your stuff and my stuff and other stuff that I'm on. And I haven't even had time. Now I did. If you guys don't know, I did release a new short story line on, and this is going to be specific to YouTube only and Rumble. The line is called Realistic Dreams. Now it is short stories, but they're actual realistic dreams that I've had. And what I've been doing is I'll tell you, I put in the short story what my dream was about, and in the end, I'll tell you what happened to me when I woke up. This latest one was called Past Horror, which is where I was a Lakota Sioux running through a prairie being attacked by cavalry people in the morning. So if you guys are interested, I do have that. It seems to be a hit so far. And I've got some more realistic dreams that I'll be working on. So I want to try about every Friday night at midnight releasing another one if everything works out right. Uh, People seem to like it, but it's not fiction. That's honest to God dreams that I've had. And this is the only past one that I've had that I can remember. All the other ones is going to be some weird futuristic stuff. But needless to say, I mean, I've woke up with marks all over my body from these dreams where I've been hit or stabbed or whatever. So I thought people were interested in that stuff, so I started doing them, and so it's called a realistic dream line is the name of these short stories. So the first
I've
one is
got one of
released
my.
called Past Horror. You got one?
I actually released on the members only part of the YouTube channel for Nighthawk High Strangeness. I actually did. I'm doing like the cartoon form short stories of
Mm-hmm.
my childhood and some of the
Mm-hmm.
things that happened. And I
Mm-hmm.
released one already. I'm working on another one, so I'm releasing those on the members only part of it. So
Yeah. I've got to figure that part out now. I just got approved the other day, and honestly, I've been busy as hell at work. A lot of stuff, especially with the holidays right now. I just ain't had time to look in it. I'm trying to get this part two. If you guys haven't already, part one of Pythian Castle Investigation is available on my Rumble or on my, well, it's on available. I believe it's on Rumble and YouTube. I'm working on part two now. There's a lot more evidence caught in part two. Part three is going to take even longer, but that's what I've been working on all day is getting part two of the Pythian Castle released onto those platforms as well. So that's what I've been working on. When I was talking about, I've been on the computer for 6 hours trying to stitch videos together because I'm trying to get part two out to you guys. and it is fighting.
Well,
They
if
very much are a thing. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I want to show some things too. The only way that I can let me see here. It won't even let me do that, will it? No, I don't think it will.
Send it to my messenger and I'll screen share it.
Yeah. I'm getting so sick and tired of StreamYard. I really am. A bunch of greedy bastards.
Yeah,
I don't recommend
you know,
StreamYard to anybody. To anybody.
I'm on Talk Studio, which I mean I can add more people to my stock studio. So I mean, push comes to shove, you'll have more freedom and ain't going to cost you a dime. And you can we can put other platforms on there. So when you go live, you can go live directly to your platforms.
Well, we'll see, because right now with me with finances, it's like I don't have any free money at all.
Dude, I'm here
Even
for
the
you. You're my
YouTube
bro.
channel isn't. Yeah, the YouTube channel isn't even really helping out with the super chats and all that. It's not like I get a lot of money from that. Because they don't even pay you unless you earn $100. So, and it takes a lot of super stickers and super chats to get to $100. Trust me.
Yeah,
because they take out their amount too.
You're my brother,
But
man. I'm here for you.
They want me. The surgeons and stuff want me to do another PET scan. Now I know Stuart knows what a PET scan is, and several other cancer patients know that's in the chat. Know what PET scans are. It's with the radiated fluid that they put inside you to basically see how far the cancer's gotten. And 5 years ago, it was like $10,000 just for that one PET scan. God knows what it is today with today's inflation. It's probably 15, 20 grand in one shot. And I don't have the money for that. And, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. So if anybody wants to donate as far as a super sticker or something goes, that'd be fine. I think we're like $7. We're like $7 away from making $100. But God knows if it's going to even be, what it is after Google takes their cut. So, but yeah, it's.
Don't you have like buy me a coffee like I do? Because you get more back off of that than you do from
I got rid of buy me a coffee because it was getting bizarre. It was really getting out there. For the longest time, because they don't pay out unless you make $20, or more.
Paid
in
mine out. I had coffee.
So, well, it didn't me. It sat on $15 for like a year, and until somebody bought one coffee for me for $5, it decided to pay me, after $20. So buy me a coffee. I don't even recognize. I don't even want to deal with that. So Patreon, forget about it. Yeah.
I had 15 on mine. They paid me $12.35 out of it. So I mean, I got well over 70%, which YouTube does 70%. They give you 70% of what you make.
Right. So. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Tomorrow morning, like I said, we're either going to be late or starting, or I won't be able to do it at all, because I have to take care of something first thing in the morning. It's a must. I need to get it done, and tomorrow morning is the only time I can get it done and have Tracy with me, so we can get it done. And but we'll be back on Sunday morning. If I'm not on tomorrow, we'll be back Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Okay. So
the only way I won't be here is if I didn't go in the deer woods today because my gout was flared up. So me trying to climb a tree stand or me trying to degree, blah, 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 blah. If I can
Yeah, you're
freaking
doing
talk
the
today.
same thing now. Yeah.
Yeah, if I can, me trying to drag a deer out of the trees, it just wasn't happening. So, well, let me rephrase this. I tried to keep my butt still today, but that didn't end up happening either. Eventually, I had to sit my fat ass in this chair and go, get off your feet, focus on this.
Yeah, woo. I tried Spreaker for a while, but they even want to charge you. So
I got your number, Woo. Oh, I do, don't I? Yeah, that's right. Never mind. Yeah, I'm talking Ghibli again. Yes, I am, Roxanne. Daggone Ghibli. I've only been up
anyways,
since
why
8:30
don't
this
you go
morning, the
ahead
final
and
time.
let everybody know what's going on with you this weekend, all right? And about the Rumble
Yeah,
thing that you and I might do.
yeah, I want to try to go on Rumble because anything political and current events I talk about on Rumble because I'm not monitored on Rumble, so I can speak a lot freer on Rumble. That's why I'm always telling you guys quit putting the political stuff in here. I don't want him to get monetized or me get monetized. That's for Rumble. Um, so I have a show on there. It's called Current Events, and so I need to get that done because especially with stuff going on, people are misunderstanding what's happening, and you got to see what's going on to understand what's happening. So that's what that's for. I post. I need to get back. I'm way behind posting my YouTube stuff on there. I need to get my button gear and get some more of that put back on there. That's another place I usually post my videos to. Um, so I need to do one tomorrow, especially after, like I said, that pew pew thing that just happened the other day, and the reason why they're doing it, and it all ties to what I've been telling people for a couple of years now, what's going on, and I told everybody about a year ago what they're going to do when a certain thing happened that just happened. So that's all going to be on Rumble. Um, I am trying to get part 2 of the Pythian Castle investigation. Oh, before I forget, you hear it first time hearing, first time virgin announcement on William's show, Into the Red Rabbit Hole. I may have 1 to 3 more paranormal investigations to put out there for you guys. I'm in contact with the Historical Society in Springfield. There is one place called Springfield Commercial Club that has it's an old building that they no longer use. It's basically almost like a police hub now, and there is several reports from officers with paranormal as far as pins being rolled across the table, pins being picked up and flung. So when I talked to the lady, she goes, "Well, I know a couple other sites you might be interested in." She really wants me to go down there and do a paranormal investigation. So I could either have 1 to 3 more locations of some more paranormal activities to put out on my YouTube and Rumble for you guys. And the way it's sounding, DA Robert wants to join me on those. So maybe some more paranormal investigations with DA Robert and myself to release with you guys. So that is new and improved, fresh coming out. It's not set in stone yet, but the lady that's running it uh, is 100% game for doing that. So that is fresh off the press, just for you guys only, and I'll talk about it tomorrow on Campfire Chats with Eric and guest. But you heard it first here on Williams Show. They're looking like I'll be having some more investigative stuff to get out to you. I've still got some more videos of the baseline investigation of that werewolf / dog man. A lot of my stuff I'm releasing on my Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, it costs like $3. You get the raw, uncut stuff, video footages. As I'm done, I upload it to my Patreon for all my subscribers to be able to look at.
Is
So
David
you'll have
still in the
access
chat?
to
Hey, is David still in the
David.
chat? David
David,
Lester.
are you still here, David? David. I don't know if he is or not. David, you're
If
not
he is,
answering. You're being
if he
summoned.
is, If he is, tell him I finally got the IR working on the camera.
I
Something
can't
told
believe I
me to
made
pick it
that
up.
rookie mistake. I can't
Something
believe I
told me
made that. I'm kicking around, probably not putting my. I'll go through it and see if I find any evidence. I cannot believe with this new camera, I forgot I had to turn the mic on that damn thing. Oh, that pisses me off. I was like, I'm going to spend several hours trying to tie my 360 recorder up with my camcorder now. And I'm like, I may just have to chalk it up. Just say the hell with it. But that's what I've got going on. Well, I'll be doing the show Sunday about the black chuck. I need to get refreshed on that. I know quite a bit of it, but I haven't read up on that in a while, especially since I've produced Saga Grimson book 2, Black Death was the last time I looked into the black chuck, just because it's in there. But I will be doing a show Sunday about the black chuck.
Okay.
So that's
all right,
pretty much
guys.
what I got going.
Well, I guess that's pretty much it for tonight. It was a nice chat. I'm glad everybody showed up and had a chance to talk and stuff about some things. Like I said, tomorrow morning, it's either going to start later, like a half an hour late, or I won't be able to do it at all, depending on what happens in the morning. Okay. But we're definitely going to be on Sunday morning. So the only thing I can suggest is just keep your eye open for the announcement that we're going live on Saturday. Okay. But Sunday morning, I guess we'll see you all at 11 a.m. And we're going to get into the whole cloning thing. Because we haven't talked about that very much lately. And with everything that's going on, especially with a lot of the so-called Black Eye Club, the Left Eye Black Eye Club, and somebody just recently got initiated in it, and apparently it was Jay Leno.
Go figure.
Yeah, he was spotted by a certain YouTuber, and he videotaped him and asked him questions how he got the black eye, and he said he fell down a hill. And wow, he only had a black eye, and it was his left eye like all the others. So we kind of think he might have been initiated into the so-called Illuminati club. So, and other nefarious things. So, but that being said, we're going to get into the whole cloning thing on Sunday, and we'll see where the cloning takes us. You know how it goes with this show. We start on one subject and we end up doing something completely opposite. So
that's just thinking.
Yeah, that's just the fun of it, and that's the thing of being live. You have that directional thing you can do. There's only so much time you have to keep people fixated on a video and interested in it, and like once that hourly mark is hit with just a video, it gets boring. So anyways, we will see you all definitely Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for Sunday morning Paranormal Brew show. And possibly tomorrow morning it might be a half an hour, 45 minutes late, or I might not do it at all, depending on when I get back. Okay. Until then, everybody, we appreciate you guys. We love you all very much. You guys are our family. Never forget that. And we will see you later, and question everything, guys. Literally question
Peace, love,
everything.
Mm-hmm.